सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। महायोगी स्वामी उमानंद सरस्वती की जय। Well, in my earlier videos, 4 and 5 I think, I have talked about becoming gods. Before I proceed to the method of how to become gods, or can we become gods, let's try and find out a difference between a god. There might be a step below that might be a sage, and a step below that may be a common man like you and me. So we need to try and see whether we can, what are the steps we need to take in order to become Narayana himself. Of course, Indian philosophy does promise that Nara alone can become Narayan. But right now, we are going to start somewhere where we differentiate between a god, a sage, and an ordinary common man. So let's define God. There are umpteen definitions I was able to trace out on God. First of all, he is considered to be a creator, the ruler of the universe, and the source of all moral authority. Then the other definition goes that he is a superhuman being or a spirit worshipped as having power over nature and human fortunes. Then there is another definition. It is the supreme or the ultimate reality, such as the being perfect in power, wisdom, and goodness, who is worshipped as creator and ruler of the universe. Well, on and on, you can find hundreds of definitions which describe God. I felt the closer one, which I would like to sort of relate with, is it is like God may be like a spirit that has great power, strength, knowledge, and can affect nature and lives of people. Well, there are many others. You may choose some other definitions. Now let us say, what are the functions of gods? Actually, in Indian mythology, we are also Panchakritya of Shiva. Panchakritya of Shiva is Utpatti, Sthiti, Laya, Nigraha, Anugraha. That is creation, sustenance, creation, sustenance, dissolution, and appearance and hiding. One of the two. That is, you, by initiating, he appears in your life, and by Nigraha, he controls appearing in your life. So, self-permeating or self-presentation. But here the functions of gods are also converting a soul. Yes, this is something which comes closer to a mortal, and we can define them as sage. So here probably the work of a sage also can be highlighted. It is close to God's work. So first it says it can convert a soul. Now convert a soul means change his nature from being bad to good. Not converting his religion. You convert a soul, not by religion. Then you have cultivating growth in him of knowledge. Now he can nourish you with knowledge. God is supposed to first influence you in such a way that you become better person in life. Then he can also impart knowledge to you, so you can become enlightened soul. Then he can rectify you. If there are things which are not correct with you, he can rectify them, change them by different activities in the world which come up to you and make you change your priorities, or your values are changed and become more suitable for the society. Then he can also cleanse you. He can cleanse you. That is, if your mind, body, intellect is not pure, then he can cleanse you. Now there is also, then he can confirm upon you. Then confirm. That means when we see him, uh, we become like him. It's something very beautiful. Maybe you'd like to become like him. Let's put it more logically for us. Then the belief in God. It once you believe in God, it sets you apart from other people. So he sort of selects you. You are selected. You belong to the selected, the gifted group. In USA, you have the children who are called gifted children. They are children supposed to have a little better intelligence and understanding ability. So they are given higher sort of subjects to study. And then seventh, very important, is he can comfort you. Comfort you. I liked these. I like these seven functions of God. And somehow, does he do them himself? No. It is so sad that he comes upon earth and he selects one of the mortal from the earth who belongs to the earth and empowers him with these powers. He empowers them with these powers. So he comes to earth. Right now, let us understand him as a universally permeating, able to permeate the universe, such a spirit or God. He comes to earth, and we won't call him alien because that will immediately give you very odd faces normally, which are shown by American movies. So we won't use that word. But it is probably the spirits are gods in maybe occupying another planet, but they come down to earth, yeah, and then they select one of the people of the earth, and then appoint him, and he is then called a messenger. Then he is called a messenger. Now he becomes a messenger of God. For this, for one of us to understand, for all of us to understand this, I will go to the story of Sri Ram. Of course, Lord Sri Ram. When he met Sugriv and Vali were two brothers. And Sugriv was robbed of his honor and kingdom and his wife by his own brother Vali. And at that time, Sugriv needed some help, and Sri Ram comes into his life and he helps him by fighting against Vali and defeating Vali. Almost he kills him and restores back the kingdom and his wife for Sugriv. And of course, then he turns to Sugriv and he says, I don't want your kingdom. You need to take back your kingdom in your hand and look after it as per certain values which we value. So, Aryan values they were. So, similarly, gods must be coming on earth and they must be finding a very decent, honest mortal being, human being, and then restoring this ability upon him to wizen the man about the world of the gods. So let us see what is the role of the messenger now. We saw the functions of God, and now we'll see the role of the messenger. Now he is one amongst the mortal. For sure, the messenger who comes forth as a guru, as a master, or as a, whatever names you would like to give him, I would select the words which are known to me in Hindu philosophy, so that I don't use a wrong word for other religions with their faith. But the idea is there is a messenger selected. And who is this messenger? He is definitely one amongst the mortal. One amongst the mortal on earth. What does he do? He recites the verses of God's writings, or he recites the verses written in praise of God. So, like suppose if I take up Gnaneshwari and I say, Om Namo Jyadya Veda Pratipadya Jaya Jaya Swasamvedya Atma Rupa Gurudeva Tuchi Ganeshu Sakalarthamati Prakashu Mani Nivrutti Dasu Avadhari Zoji. So I am reciting some shlok, some OVs, some couplets which speak highly in praise of gods. Now you take Bhagavad Gita, you will say, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvat Sanjaya. Now these are the shlok which are written, and they are written by wise rishis, and see, another messenger comes in the way and recites them. They are recitations which are written in praise of God. They are songs, they are hymns. And now we have Vedic hymns, now which are even composed by the great rishis. So we must remember that these are these rishis are the ones who recite the hymns in praise of gods. Now, what do? They also teach the words of wisdom. Now, see what is the beautiful role of a messenger. He teaches the words of wisdom. Then, especially those words of wisdom which are unknown to man. Now, probably there will be many who will not be knowing much about Kundalini Yoga. So let us say, as trying to be a messenger, let's say that I am trying to pass on a subject which is of interest to the seekers of enlightenment. And so I am trying to pass on the message which is already there, stated somewhere, which is studied probably by me and which is passed on to the people who have yet to study it. So this is how the words of wisdom are passed on from one to the other. Then they also bring in good things for the common man. They bring good things for the common man. So you have got to see these which are the behavioral codes of the messenger or the characteristics of messengers. They are included in one prayer of Jnandev, which is called as Pasaidan, which is a universal prayer. Today, the World Peace at MIT, where Dr. Karad is working, trying to bring various concepts in limelight of Indian philosophy. One of the concepts he wants to try and uphold is the Pasaidan, which includes the role of messengers, which is almost similar to this. We will come to the explanation later, but right now the role I am talking about, a messenger on earth. Then he also warns us. Warns us means it's not a frightening warn that if you don't do this, I shall slap you. No, it's not a warning like this. It is like if you do good, you will bear good results. If you do bad, you shall have sorrow in your life. So this is sort of a warning which is passed on to a person, or they will tell you that obstacles which may obstruct your journey on enlightenment. One of the obstruction is laziness. Laziness. So you have to overcome that. So these are the sort of warnings which are given by the messengers to mankind. Then they also are able to reach out to gods and call them. One of the messengers in Vedic times was considered to be God Agni himself. Agni is the Lord of fire. Because you look at him, he rises only upwards. You light a fire and the flame goes upwards. So it is a beautiful understanding of a great sage. And he tells that the fire is like a messenger who goes to the gods and invites all of them to come on earth for a yajna, a spiritual, a ritual, a religious ritual where gods are likely to come and bless a common man's gathering. Then these messengers are like illuminating lamps. They are lamps which illuminate mankind's intellect, common man's intellect. Now, these are the qualities which are the role, let's say, functions of a messenger. Then, what are the qualities of messengers? The qualities are indeed they are loyal. They are loyal. They are loyal to their masters. They are loyal to their Vedic scriptures. They are loyal to, yes, a loyalty at one place does not have to be cruelty to another soul on earth. You are loyal about certain things. For example, you are loyal to the idea which might be stated in the texts. Say, let's say the crossing of the cat, black cat is evil. Say, let's say just a belief. You are loyal to that belief. Now, against that, if you are going to catch the cat and kill it, now that is unkindness. So that is not done. This is just an example I am giving you. So loyalty should be there for the truth, because it has to, the result has to be beautiful. The result of loyalty cannot be ugly. The result of loyalty to any belief has to be a beautiful result. Then they are reliable. The messengers are supposed to be reliable and trustworthy. Now, they are trying to do, they fulfill the duties of gods, so they have to be trusted. Then they also communicate the exact orders given by the gods to them. Now, people come to me and they have various problems, mundane problems, and then they come and ask me, what should we do to, say, let's say, get a job? Now, sometimes even I get strange messages, like tell them to offer 1% of their income to poor people, or something like that. It's an intuitional thing which has been working with me as a siddhi, one of the siddhis. And when I pass it on, it works for them. Now, of course, if suppose I am told that they should offer milk to the poor, now I cannot change it and say you have to offer milk to me. So I cannot lie. I should give the correct message which has come to me and pass it on. So the saints are supposed to be, they are trustworthy, and they should communicate or convey the correct message given by gods to them. Then they are supposed to have slightly superior minds, intellect, logic, and strong memory, and studying nature. So the rishis are slightly defined, a little different. The messengers selected are different category. They are the people who study, they are interested in curiosity, in education, and they want to pass on the information to the poor for the welfare of mankind. So it's basically a different type of a personality, which is probably traced by gods on earth and given the job to be done. Then they are normally said to be free from sins and faults and acts. Of course, I'm trying to be a messenger myself. So, but I wouldn't say I'm totally free of all these, but I will definitely not do it purposely. I will not commit a crime purposely. I will not commit a fault purposely, on purpose, or I will not do a wrong deed on purpose. Of course, as far as human mistakes are concerned, follies are concerned, well, we all come within that area. Well, however, they are here to produce, and there is one special thing about the sages, the rishis, and that they are supposed to create some sort of a master creation in the world before they part. They are supposed to create a master creation before they part. Now, these are the various qualities, I will say, of those messengers. They are supposed to be very submissive to God. They are submissive to God. They are gentle to people. Friends, there are a lot of good qualities we need to trace in messengers. So you will know whether the people who are defined as messengers do fall in this category or no. They are to be concerning about, they take concern about people. They have deep concern for people, for their welfare. They are kind, they are merciful, they have faith in God, they are God fearing. My God, I like this, I like this. And then, well, they are also devoted to gods, and not only that, they set good examples. Now, here in Indian philosophy, we define God with three words: Sat, Chit, and Anand. Now, I'd like to just explain that Sat, Chit, Anand, and then we will stop for today. Now, suppose there is you are sitting in a room and suddenly you hear a loud noise outside your door or a house. The instant reaction is that you rush towards it and you see it. And then you try to make the experience explain to yourself in order to have a composed and comfortable mindset. So there are three activities. You suddenly hear something, that is existence, which is a fact. You've heard something which all of us can hear, but you have heard it. All right, that is existence, Sat. Then Chit, you want to know what has happened. That is awareness. You want to hype your awareness. You want to rush towards it and find out what has happened. So that is Chit. And then when you hear that, and now you want to make yourself more comfortable. All right, you hear a big truck, huge truck or a motorbike passing, and then you hear the sound. Now you have witnessed it. So when you come back, you say, well, that's a common feature. And then you make your mind comfortable. That is the quality of Anand. So Sat, Chit, and Anand. These are the three basic drives which are there in God-man, which are there in God, which are there in animals also, animal world also. So we are basically given these three attributes. Now what differs between the God, the rishis, and the common man? If you title these, the first is Sat, then you have the Chit, and then you have the Anand. Now on the other side you take the opposite of Sat, because some people may not become aware of it. They have not heard the sound. So we'll say Asat. Then obviously there will not be a drive to know. So Achit. And then they will not wanting to make that experience turn into something more comfortable. So that is no Ananda. That won't have to be sorrow, but it is just not there. Ananda experience is not there. Joyous moment of resurrecting or rectifying is not there. So you have Sat, Chit, Anand, Asat, Achit, and no Anand. Let's say no Anand. I would, so Anand is not there. That joyous moment is not joy. No joy there. Okay, so we have 6. Now these various can be combined. Suppose you title them as A, B, C, E, F, D. Then you can have various combinations. I was not aware of the sound, but I rushed because you rushed. So there is no sound hearing. So Sat is not there, but Chit is there. Chit has come in. So there can be Sat minus Chit experience. So obviously it will not be a complete joy. Or it will be Chit. The Chit is there. The Sat is there. You have heard the voice, but you are not curious. You are not anxious to know, because you already know that there are already many motorbikes pass by. So you don't go out. So curiosity is not there. So these are various combinations: A, B, C, E, F, D. Let's see how many combinations you can make out of these A, B, C, E, F, D. Now these are, we have just counted 6. They can be A, D, A, E, A, F. whatever. Make as many combinations you can. There will be umpteen. You can imagine 26 alphabets. I will give you thousands of English words. So these 6 words also will be definitely, you don't have to have proper words. You can just have combinations. So these combinations are there. And therefore, God man, man and sage, they will vary as per those combinations. They will vary as per those combinations. Now, we need to, but yet, yes. So, what we need, the greater the awareness, more total the awareness. What is the difference between man and God and sage? The God is supposed to be more universally aware. So his knowledge is also for the universe, and his ananda lies in trying to rectify the needs of mankind or for the universe. The sage probably will be just outside his house. He will be interested in knowledge basically and spreading the knowledge. His concept of joy will be different. A common holder man will be interested in his wife, in his children, in their jobs, in their comfort. So his limitations. So it's nothing but ability. A drop of water is almost the same as the water in the ocean. But we cannot call the drop of water ocean. We have got to see that that difference is there. Similarly, the difference in God, in mortal and sage might be just the attributes are the same, Satchitananda, but the abilities, the reach of all 3 qualities, attributes might be superhuman and immortal and superhuman and human. So see if you understand this, because we are trying to outline a path which will take you from Nara to Narayan. That is, you want to walk on a path which will probably lead you from a normal common man to a God. Like, can we do it? Let's see. I am trying to do it. So let's see if you want, you can join me. This is Swami Radhikananda from Pune. Don't forget to watch atmarupa.in, and secondly, please get us more subscribers. We need them. Thank you.